All right, so now that we've gone over in this market psychology section the concept of fear and greed, I want to introduce another concept which is market psychology related, but it's also like I guess also like a partially mindset trick that you can implement in order to understand the fear and greed concept better, and a sort of way that you can implement it. So we talked about in one of the other videos how market cycles work, how we go through periods in the market where there's a lot of greed and where there's a lot of fear, and you have to do the opposite of what the market is feeling in order to make money. And it's easier said than done, the process of buying when it hurts and selling when it hurts. You know, buying when it's fearful, when the market's fearful, and selling when the market's greedy. But I want to give you today a little bit of a mindset trick, another understanding into market psychology to further help you implement investing knowing the market psychology. So when you buy something in the market, I want to just talk about buying for now. When you buy something in the market, you will always feel pain. Now you have to decide which pain you would like to feel, because there's two choices that you have. Choice number one is the pain of making money. Now, what do I mean by the pain of making money? Well, when you buy something, if you buy it when it felt good, there was no pain when you bought, right? You didn't feel any pain. So you're going to have to feel pain eventually, because you always feel pain when you buy something. So if you felt good when you bought something, the pain that you're going to feel is when the price goes below your entry, right? And I want to visualize this on a chart to help you understand. So let's move this down here. This is going to make a mess, isn't it? Anyways, we'll fix that later. So let's pretend this is a price chart, right? You have two pains. You either have the pain of buying when it felt good near the top and then price going below your entry, or you have the pain of buying when it hurts and then you make money. So it's the pain of making profit. So you either have the pain of making money, buying the bottom, or the pain of buying when it was easy, when price goes down. And it is always one of two outcomes. Now, very, very rarely, very occasionally in markets, sometimes you will buy when it feels really good with your long-term investment, and you won't have to experience any downside. So you'll buy, let's say you buy, sometimes you'll buy here, let's say price is like down here, and it will feel confident, and you will never have to experience any pain. Nothing in terms of a loss. But that is very, very rare, and what you want to maximize for is, if you want to be long-term profitable, is making buying decisions when the pain is the pain up front, right? So the more pain you feel up front with making a decision in the market, the better you're setting yourself up for the long term, right? And this is sort of like a concept with everything in life, right? When you want to have a good night, you drink alcohol. What does alcohol do? Well, it gives you happiness now, but you have the hangover tomorrow. When you want to go to university, you take out debt now and you pay it back later. When you drink coffee, you take energy now and you get tired later. When you do drugs, you feel amazing now, you feel like shit later, right? Most things in life that people do create the mindset within them that the goal is to maximize for feeling good now and then worrying about the consequences later. But if you do that in investing, you're going to end up losing all your money. Because if you execute that strategy in investing, what ends up happening is price goes up like this, you buy when it feels good, so you have the happiness today, and then you pay the consequences later, right? Now, obviously in this exemplar, you buy high, price goes down. If you held, price eventually goes up and now you're in profit. But if you execute a strategy like that, you're making it much harder on yourself to make money long term. Because a lot of the time, you'll buy when it feels good, right? You'll buy around here, you'll be in profit a little bit, but then maybe that's the beginning of the bear market, right? Most people do this. They buy here, bull market, and then the bear market begins, they lose money for 2 years, and maybe, in like 5 years, you end up back in profit, but it's just not a good strategy, right? If you just buy when it hurted, that's not a word. If you just bought when it was significantly more painful earlier in the bull run and then exited at the top, you would have been fine. But trying to enter when you had confidence is what fucked you up. So that was actually a really good sentence, whatever I said. I can't remember what I said before. But the thing about people sacrificing tomorrow's happiness for today's happiness is very much apparent in markets. This is why we have these crazy pumps and bull runs and we have prices go down a lot, because everyone's chasing the pump and they're sacrificing tomorrow's happiness to feel good today, buying when it feels good and then not buying when it feels like shit. And yeah, that's just what people are doing. That's the market psychology. The market moves in the direction which fucks over the most amount of people. So if you buy when it feels good, everyone else is buying, and because everyone bought, the path of most pain is down, making all those people lose money. Because the market as well the market forces participation. That's what the market is designed to do. So the market does not want you to hold when a coin goes 100x. It wants to shake you out, take your money, and then go up 100x, right? The market will always try to manipulate you into doing what it wants you to do so that it can make money from you. So if the market is dumping and everyone's afraid, ask yourself, what is the market trying to get you to do? It's probably trying to get you to sell. If you feel like selling, that's the market doing a good job of making you feel like shit, and it's trying to convince you to sell, right? So the market moves in a direction which is going to fuck you over, or the most people, and it's trying to convince you to participate. If you don't do anything, you will eventually make money. This is why dead people are some of the best investors in the world. It's because the market cannot convince someone who is dead to participate in the market, because they're dead, right? So if you don't participate in the market over a long enough time horizon, you're going to make money. But that's not me trying to say to you just don't do anything. But the key to long-term success in the markets is to minimize the amount of participation that you have to do. So you should only be buying low a few times and then waiting and then selling high basically once. And that's an entire bull market of participation right there. The more rotations you add in, the more profit taking, the more trading, day trading, swing trading, flipping NFTs, the more participation you add, the more variables you add, the more risk you add, and the more difficulty you add to your investing. So for me, with the strategy that I teach you in this program, it's all about how to find and spot 10 to 100x opportunities, buy them low, using a hands-off strategy, hold them through the course of a bull run, and then exit near the top and take all your money out with no taxes and a good banking infrastructure, right? That's like the goal of this course. And you do that by buying when it hurts, experiencing all the pain up front, and then holding and then selling, obviously, when it hurts to sell. Okay? And yeah, like I said, it either hurts when you buy the bottom or, you either lose money. So as well as this, buying fear or buying during fear is scary up front and peaceful later. I'm pretty sure this was a quote that I got from Twitter, but it was really, really good. I wanted to include it. But essentially, like I said, if you buy when it hurts, the pain is up front. The pain happens at the buying process. But it's peaceful later because it can only be better. If you buy when COVID's happening and the world's going to collapse, it can only get better from there, generally speaking. Now, buying greed is easy up front and scary later. Now, I did a little bit of a thing. Let me fix this up. Aha. Oh, there we go. So you naturally want to buy when price is near the top because you want to follow the herd instinctually. Every new investor will do this. They'll just naturally follow the herd. By the time you really feel like buying, most of the upside is priced in, and price will need to go lower when it returns into the next fear cycle. So let me repeat that again. I'm going to guess you guys maybe didn't get that. So by the time you really feel like buying, so near the top, up in the red boxes, most of the upside is gone, right? The price has already gone up. The upside's gone. And price will need to go lower when it returns into the next fear cycle. Now, what is a fear cycle? I'm basically referring to the period of time where the price is going down. So this is a fear cycle. This is a greed cycle, right? That's sort of the term I'm giving for it. So on the Bitcoin chart, we'll call this a fear cycle. Does this want to work? This is a fear cycle, greed cycle, fear, greed, you can sort of see up, down, up, down. The price during a fear cycle is almost always lower than the price you buy at with some form of confidence/assurance. This is a very important sentence. Okay? I'm going to read it again. The price during a fear cycle is almost always lower than the price you buy at with some form of confidence assurance. So let me show you on a real chart instead of some fake shitty charts, right? Let's get rid of this mess. Let's get rid of my algo. So this is a fear cycle. This is a fear cycle. This is a fear cycle, right? Oop. The price almost always goes lower than the price you buy at when you buy with confidence. So where do people buy when they have confidence? Will they buy here, here, here? This is where the... I know you can't really tell that the confidence is there, but trust me, this is where people were getting really bullish. Okay, here and here. Now, what has happened every single time you went and bought confidence? Well, you first lost a bunch of money, right? You lost a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money, lost money. Now, eventually it went to higher highs, but if you're trying to be a smart investor, wouldn't it just be easier to buy when it hurts up front so that you can make even more money? If you end up buying when you have confidence, you pay a premium, you make less money. So it just makes sense that you buy it when it's cheaper. So buying during a fear cycle peak, so the bottom, right, guarantees you won't lose much. You won't experience, I think that's meant to say experience, much. Can I spell? You won't experience much or any downside on your portfolio. Instead, you face the pain up front. The most profitable strategy in crypto is to face pain up front, to consider all the risks and upside before the position is even entered. You should mentally be considering 50 different what-if scenarios before your entry occurs. Now, this is for long-term investments. If you're trying to buy an ape of shitcoin and you need to buy very fast, you can't be like, oh, what if? Because remember we talk about the IQ meme, right? The IQ meme in practice. If you're aiming to implement a low IQ strategy where you have to fast execute and you have to buy now and research later, then you can't consider all the what-if scenarios, right? But if you're looking to do a long-term investment, like, for example, Toshi or Ethereum or Solana or whatever, then you do need to consider all the what-if scenarios because that's a proper investment. That's not as much gambling, that's more investing. So you have to ask yourself, like, what is all the potential scenarios? What, remember in the last video we talked about the process that you follow to determine if it's a good time to buy. So you have to ask, like, is there enough pain up front where I'm getting a good entry? How much pain did it take to buy? Ask all of these questions. And asking what if shows that you have done the thinking and the consideration up front, maximizing the chance of a good entry/exit. So you have to ask yourself, like, what if this positive news doesn't come out? What if the market isn't scared enough? What if blah, 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 right? When you ask what if, you give yourself different perspectives and it allows you to remove bias to make more clear decisions. But obviously you have to be careful. A lot of mid-curve people will be thinking like this, like, what if? Oh, but what if that goes wrong? Oh, you can't buy Toshi. What if it's a scam coin? What if it goes to zero? He's mid-curving it, right? It's a mid-curve. So you have to be careful that you don't mid-curve when you use this process. But anyways, this is you have to use it and analyze to the extent where you're in the high IQ bracket. Okay. So again, just to summarize, you either feel pain when you profit because you take all the pain and the fear up front, or you feel pain when you buy high and you lose money, either short term or long term. Okay. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.